Duck.
I ain't never seen an Affleck duck at nobody's black
My
table.
mother made duck before. My mother.
Duck is a soul food?
Listen, yes.
What you? All right, explain that to me.
I ate it. It went in my mouth. It touched my soul. It was soul food.
I can't. I don't even got to argue against that.
That was a good one, right?
Peace, y'all, and welcome back to the Black Eel Podcast, where we talk about land, food, and liberation. That got nice. They got a real nice ring to it.
I know.
You wanna go and introduce us?
Yo, what it is, y'all? It's your girl J Baby, and I'm over here with my man Dwayne Lee. I changed it.
Hey, you want to go ahead and explain to them why my name is Dwayne Lee?
No, we won't promote her here, but yeah.
Okay.
Dwayne Lee.
There's a story behind that. I promise y'all, there's a story behind that. But it seems to be right now. I can't tell you the story, and I can understand that. So
okay.
I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping at all. So look, we of course we about to jump into some good stuff. Thank y'all for tuning in and welcome y'all back. Before we jump into our topic for the day, though, y'all know we got to start off with a nice segment, something real slick, something real simple. But today is a little competition, and generally I think we know, Ashy know, and everybody pretty much knows when it comes to competitions, is Lee, who generally takes the cake. All right, so let's do this. We got a game, and the game is called Body Language, right? In this game, our host is or one of our engineers is gonna give us 5 different kinds of foods, fruits, or however we want to classify them, and we have to answer and tell them each of the fruit how it affects our body.
Okay.
Cool? Is that clear?
Okay.
So, for example, I would be like, oranges are good for what?
They taste good.
Yep. And here comes the win. Let's do it.
Alright, so number 1, apple.
I'm going apples are good for the brain. I know that. I remember reading that in my science book.
Apples are good for my teeth. For your teeth. Apples are really good for your teeth.
Give us the answer.
So they help you lose weight. They're good for your gut.
Yeah, your teeth
same
actually
thing, right?
gets them to your gut.
Is brain and gut not the same thing, though?
What?
Is brain and... Never mind. What's the next one?
Next one's kale.
Oh, that's easy. Kale is good for all the iron and everything to keep your body right.
Yeah, I would say for your bones.
Yeah, so removes unwanted toxins. So
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Bam.
Cleanse the body out.
We got
Cleanse the body out.
Clean it out.
I think it's safe to say we...
Kale body,
one for one.
baby. Growing on the forearm. All right, come on.
Next one, we got
right.
carrot.
Eyes, I see you. Carrots all the way.
Carrots are good for blue cheese.
What's up, Doc? No, what's up? That's Josh.
What about I had improved vision for the carrot.
Oh yeah. So you just got smoked on that. I think we cloned that. 3-1, 2-1 Lee, 1-2 Ashley.
It's okay.
No, I know. Ain't got no damn choice but to be okay.
What about peppers?
Oh, that's easy.
Peppers are good for cleaning your stomach out.
What?
I don't need no peppers.
Peppers are good. Peppers are also good for like the growth of your fingernails and bones, and also cleaning out your gut.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I just had the gut.
I don't think he knew either.
The first part might not be as accurate as I wanted to.
It's
be,
not
but I know
true.
for sure that it cleaned out your gut. Don't say it's not true. You don't know if it's true or not. When the last time you had some goddamn peppers?
Yesterday.
All right,
Not yesterday. Yesterday.
What's our next one? I think it's safe to say what? 3. I'm sorry, 2-2 Lee, and what? Oh, it might be 2-2.
He lost count, but come on.
Yeah, you know I lost count.
Here go the game.
But I know this is the last one right here.
All right.
Potatoes.
So potatoes are good. It depends, all right, because there's a couple ways you can answer the question. Potatoes, white potatoes are refined, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so I might be wrong about that, but potatoes in general are pretty starchy objects, and I know for sure that they are a good source of calcium.
That's not true. And
Hold on,
I know about potatoes from
the big carry
Ghost.
Oh, my fault.
Not Ghost, for Life. When he was in jail, when he bit it, he was like, actually, potatoes can be eaten raw or something, and it's a fruit or something like that. He was pleading his case when it first came on.
Yeah,
For
so
Life.
what's the answer though?
I'm just saying, potatoes is real. It's for your growth.
What grow? Of what though?
I
What
don't
do y'all
know.
grow?
This podcast.
Potato? Oh my god! Yo. Oh my god, yo!
Like, come on.
What's the answer?
On mine, I had that good source of antioxidants.
That gotta be the same thing as calcium.
Gotta be the same thing I said.
That's you said blue cheese. That's not what you said. Calcium and antioxidants say like they're the same thing. For real. Seriously.
All right.
Alright, so
The
look.
audience tell us who won.
The audience can say what they want to say. I'm gonna tell you right now, I won this. I'm clear about it. And she just said blue cheese on 2 of our answers. I don't know how we gonna sit up here and even compare in a game with that. I'm clearly hitting, you know what I mean,
It's all right.
on bullseye for it. But it's all good. We can move on. But that's our segment today. It's called Body Language, talking about how some of the different fruits and vegetables affect our body and how our body responds to them. And blue cheese is not the answer, people. So cool. Our topic for today. You want to tell them our topic?
No, I can't see that.
You can't see our
You
okay.
are. So our topic for today
Okay.
is you are what you eat.
You are what you eat. You are what you eat. What do
It's just that simple.
what that mean to you?
I mean, you are what you eat spiritually, physically. You just are. Everything you take in is like on like different levels of just intake. Like you are what you intake, what
Right.
you eat.
You know, it's interesting. Coming up, I heard this line a lot, and it was used as a bit of a joke, if I could be honest with you. But I won't go too deep into the joke while on the podcast. I'll also be honest about that. But when you talk about everything that we eat, everything that we intake as part of our bodies, I think that's one of the major, or I think that could be one of the biggest disconnects that we got, is just like how our food directly affects our health. And I think part of it is like a gap in the educational piece, a gap in understanding, a gap in, or not even a gap, but also like the malicious act of being taken away from, or not being, or being kept from foods that are good for you and are also cultural to you, but they aren't made available to you. That makes sense?
That makes perfect sense. All
That
of
makes
that.
sense. So you think about the grocery stores we go to, right? When you go to the grocery store, the shit that we buy is what? It's like all the same stuff, right? Am I mistaken? So we got to get what? The same tomatoes, the same kinds of potatoes, the same kinds of fruits. We got to get the same kinds of milks and all that stuff, right? Why I say we got to get the same kinds? Because when the last time you chose what goes in the grocery store?
Yeah, that long ago.
Ashley ain't never chose what goes in the goddamn grocery store. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's the answer I was looking for, but she wanted to be on some
That long ago is basically the same thing you said.
All right. So what I'm saying though is, truthfully, to be very clear that one, black folks aren't in control of their food, right? We don't have control over the foods that are accessible to us. We don't have control over the foods that we've been told to eat. We also don't have control over how the foods that we have to eat have been handled and passed down to us. So I think that's, you talking about health and food being connected. Folks really struggle with that. You've ever seen anybody like in your neighborhood coming up where, you know what I mean, they might be a certain size, they might be a certain size or however, but they start eating right, what happens to them?
That weight start to drop.
That weight start to drop, right?
Yeah.
So if you telling me, if you watch somebody in your neighborhood, 300 pounds, get down to 120, thin as a twig, wind could blow them over now. They get down to 120, or strictly off of just what they eat, just off their diets. I don't understand how we think this shit can't be in reverse. Tell me what don't make sense.
I agree. I agree with what
don't
you're
make
saying.
sense. I think it's a major thing though. But where do you think that comes from? Where do you think that disconnect comes from? That like not really understanding that the same way food can be our health, food can also be our poison.
Being stuck in the environment without like any resources for outlet. Like
Yeah.
when I grew up, I'm going to the same markets. When I move, I'm going to the same market my mother went to. I'm doing the same thing, so I'm not doing anything different.
Right.
So you just stuck. You're not really looking for anything else because you don't know there's
There you
anything
go.
else. You just know what
That's
you
facts.
came up with.
That's facts. It's crazy because you get normalized to that shit, and you be stuck on it, and then what
Yeah.
happens is you pass the shit down. Land and
No,
oh my
right.
God, Big Mama. And I'm talking about
Right.
actual
Oh,
soul
Big
food.
Mama.
Which was that was a great movie
Yeah, it
inside the
was.
black community. Yeah.
But when I think about soul food, I think about I say that movie only because they were a family. They were rooted.
Yeah.
Like
Epitome, yeah.
they grew. Some of them were damaged, but at the end of the day, it's like they all were back together.
Yeah.
So Soul Food is like, listen, Soul Child. It's like it can't get no. It's just everlasting. Like it's deep.
Right.
It's the beginning.
Right. You know what's interesting about that, and I might have a different take on it. I don't want you to feel the way. But what's interesting about it is that, like,
You had to say
we
that.
talked about.
Oh,
no.
like I ain't what you feeling type.
No, because I know you
Don't
really
be
like
having
the movie
them
Soul
think that I be
Food.
sensitive.
I know you really like. No, I know you really like the movie Soul Food.
All right,
I know
go
you like
ahead.
the movie Soul Food. But no, what's interesting about that is that we got this idea of soul food, right? And I want to be clear. My perspective on soul food is very close to Ashley's. I grew up on soul food, both the movie and the actual food. The food in the movie always looked good, and the food outside of the movie always was feeding the soul. So I'm guessing that's why they definitely call it soul food. Tell me some of your favorite soul foods.
No, because you about to say something completely different.
No, I'm not. I won't say nothing. No, I ain't gonna.
A whole plate. The baked macaroni and cheese,
Okay.
the ham,
Well,
the sauerkraut,
whoa!
stuffing,
Ham?
chitterlings,
Chitlins.
all of that. Duck.
I ain't never seen an Affleck duck at nobody's black
My
table.
mother made duck before. My mother.
Duck is a soul food?
Listen, yes.
What you? All right, explain that to me.
I ate it. It went in my mouth. It touched my soul. It was soul food.
I can't. I don't even think I can argue against that.
That was a good one, right?
I don't even think I can argue
Yo,
against that.
I'm slick.
So let me ask you this
Go
though:
ahead.
do you think it's possible that soul food is one of the most detrimental things to the black community?
It is. It's a. What is it? A blessing and a sin.
Yeah, a blessing or a curse and a blessing. I know
Yeah,
what you mean,
one of
curse and a curse,
those
yeah.
ways. That's what it is.
Yeah. Why so?
Because
Why
you're
you say
like,
that?
like I said, I keep getting back to being stuck. We're just stuck individuals.
Right.
So you're stuck in a tradition, and then in the good way, you know what it is to want to build. So if you did want to change your way of thinking, your way of eating, your way of living,
Right.
you had that steps through to do so. You
Right.
had that leeway. So it's a good and a bad thing. I mean, it could go both ways, but I don't know. What you think?
No, so I see it like this. So we talked about a second ago about how black folks don't even have control over their food, right? Where that food comes from, or what foods they get to choose from inside of their communities. Black folks have no control over that. So when you talk about soul food, I feel like soul food was given to us, right? I feel like soul food is one of those things to be like, this is black food.
Mm-hmm.
The fried stuff, the stuff with the high calories, the high sugars, and all the stuff that we love.
Mm-hmm.
I can't sit here and lie. I love me some Big Mac and cheese. I had some a couple weeks ago. I'm not, I'm not parading around about it, but it was some bomb ass mac and cheese, and I ain't mad at it. So, but I say to say is that like, we gotta be real with ourselves and admit that like that stuff is also the same stuff that's giving us high blood pressure.
Yeah.
It's giving us the I almost messed this up. High blood pressure. It's giving us diabetes. It's giving us hypertension, right? It's clogging our arteries. It's all these things that's happening to us, causing these strokes, causing these heart problems because of the foods we eat. All the salt, all the sodium, everything that we put up with in the food, everything that we put in our foods is mind blowing. So it's almost like nutrition and enslavement, right? It's this idea of trying to liberate yourself through foods, but the only foods you have are the ones that folks are giving you. So how do you really tap into what it means to be healthy in your sense? How do you tap into what it means to be healthy inside of like in the lands that you from and from the traditions that your peoples came from? But it's interesting because I think of Georgia Gilmore. You ever heard of Georgia Gilmore?
I don't know who that is.
So Georgia Gilmore was a chef, or one of the cooks during the Black Civil Rights Movement. Oh, I'm sorry. I think it was during the Civil Rights time, I should say. But she used to actually cook dinner for folks, and they would have meetings around like how to set up and organize with different movements with her food. And a lot of the food at the time, if I'm not mistaken, was like fried pork chops with gravy, the stuff that we would know, stuff we would consider soul food.
Right.
So I say that to say is that when you talk about being stuck, you talk about back then, food that folks were filling up off of, organizing off of, and taking care of their families off of, and it became a thing, right? It became a normalized tradition, but also that's just the food that's available to us, the food that was given to us. So I think I know some words I can't say, but I think it's absolutely messed up that soul food to us is this very spiritual thing, right? This thing that like attaches to the black name and always gonna
Right.
be like, yo, we even made it from that. Excuse me, okay. Okay, now slow down now, Ashley.
Birds don't cluck.
Birds don't cluck. Yeah, you're
No,
right,
yeah,
right.
no.
No, we even but all jokes aside, we made a whole movie about it. You know what I mean? We got a whole, and the movie is the epitome, like you said, of what a black family looks like on your Thanksgiving, on your January, on your any of your holidays, if you will, your Christmases, whatever you want to call it. But all the big pans of food, the fried fishes, the fried chickens, the fried pork chops, all those different things, man, because it's such a staple. But also, that staple could be the same thing that is also killing us.
But how do you stop it? It's like, all right, so if I did want to stop,
Right.
okay, I'm going to cook a healthier meal this year. I'm not going to make everything that I would make then. So now I have my family that's not coming here
Right.
because they're not wanting to eat this.
Man,
so
yeah.
do I separate from my family, or do I just say, let me just go ahead and eat this food with them? We going to be good. So how do you stop it? Like, where's the balance? Perfect. Where's the balance?
I got the balance.
That was God.
Yeah, so no, I think that's a good ass question. So what I would say is, it's a few things.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first thing is, never will I ever agree that we should like kind of like I wouldn't even never should I ever agree never will I ever agree that we should compromise like our health for the sake of what our folks or our families feel like we should be eating, right?
Mm-hmm.
I understand that we come up with these things, but we also come up with a lot of traditions that have changed over time, right? You know what I mean? It's like the stuff that we come up with is not meant to be the same. It's meant to be evolved. So I don't think we should be hung up on like if our folks don't want to come eat with us this Thanksgiving because we're making tofu sandwiches this time. You know what I mean? We're not making the fried chicken. But I think it is clear that like when you say how do we stop it or how do we change it, I think it's kind of like our process, right? I think it's going to start with the conversation, right? Because that's where my change in diet and my change in food, my eating habits came from, for what I am available to eat and what I can eat healthy. It starts with the conversation. You know what I mean? Somebody going to have to, I don't know a good phrase for it. Somebody going to have to, you know what I mean? Bang your buck. Is that a good phrase?
I don't know what that
You know what
would
I
mean, but
buck as in like a bull, right? And a buck is a bull, right?
a buck is a deer, and a buck a deer.
Oh, a buck a deer. A buck
Oh
a deer.
my God.
Yeah, my fault. Buccaneers. I'm tripping. Yeah, you're right. No, Buccaneers are not deer. Forget it. So check this out.
Bang for the
Somebody
buck.
gonna have to bang your buck. That's what's gonna have to happen. And what I mean by that is somebody gonna have to really like set a fire in you that just won't be burnt out. That's gonna have you constantly down the rabbit hole, wondering like why the hell I been eating all these foods for so long if they do this to my arteries, right? Or why I've been going to the gym and my body not responding the way I wanted to because I go home and put the same stuff in my body. So it's I think that's a big piece of it when you you know what I mean when you bring it full circle. So it starts with the conversation, and I think after that you got resources too. I think that's one of the most important things to know. Like there's so many resources that are going to allow you to learn about better options for food, better options that are for food that are native to your culture. Just some that I'll lift up right now is you have How to Eat to Live by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You have, of course, Dr. Sebi, who has multiple books around nutritional and foods for our health and our systems. You have Dr. Layla Africa. You have Sister Crystal Foreman from Holistic Wellness and Health. You have Dr. Ian Noel, and you have Queen Afua. And in addition, I would always add, people can look up and Google and study any indigenous practices that came before us.
Like I'm gonna do, because I don't know who none of them people
But
is.
that's how it happens, right? So we don't have this conversation, you know what I mean? You don't get to have that lane, or you don't get to move in a way where you get now you have the option. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people out there who ain't gonna hear this conversation this time because they're gonna hear it soon, but they're gonna hear the conversation this time, and they don't got the option.
Right.
They're gonna go back to the grocery store, grab that same 8 to 10 pack of the wings, grab the flour, you know what I mean? Grab the seasoning and put it down with the Western oil. You know what's up? Don't play game.
What kind of oil?
The Western. WESS oil.
That is not how you pronounce that.
How you pronounce that?
I don't know, but I don't think that's it.
What you mean?
But come on.
That's how you pronounce that. In Weston, if you watching this, tell her that I'm Weston is right.
Tell me, Weston. What's his name?
It's not first off his name. The Grease's name is Weston. WESSON. You remember Crisco?
I know what cooking oil is.
But you remember Crisco?
Yes.
All right, then how you gonna tell me Weston wrong?
But I used to put my grease in after my mother fried chicken.
I used to think Crisco was like Vaseline. Only thing that changed my mind is that it came in that big blue tub, and that made me say that for a while with the clear top. Vaseline had the blue top with the clear. Never mind. So yeah, but no, I think, man, soul food can be a gift and a curse, like you said.
Yeah.
Soul food can be, and I think you got a big tug of war of like, damn, I still want to eat it.
Right.
I mean, truthfully, I get on Grubhub sometimes when I'm on the go, and I might need to take a step back. But it's really, I don't chuck it up to me being negligent, right? I chuck it up to me just being, working through a process of trying to normalize how I eat and, how I show up in different times for my
Right.
body. So it's definitely, truly a process.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say that I guess we're slipping to just a quick game of charades, and I think we both came up with Gefilte fish, which is first mentioned on the late great show Rush Hour, movie Rush Hour. It was the first thing Chris Tucker ordered on a plane. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, let me get one of them gefilte fish.
Gefilte fish. Is it gefilte or is it gefilte?
I don't know.
Gefilte.
It's gefilte.
Ain't no
You
T.
sure? How you sure? I think it came out. I think we ordered it. It might have, not mine. So look, let's change gears really quick.
Starfish, cause the starfish. Go ahead.
Oh boy.
I know for real.
Excuse me, I just want to make a public service announcement and say now we are reaching. That's all. But no, let's talk about the politics, right? Let's talk about the politics in every grocery bag. Let's talk about the politics in every basket of food. Let's talk about the politics every trip to the grocery store. When you go to the grocery store, what really are you doing? I know we buying food, right? I know you are. I know you spending money, but at the basis, you supporting somebody. And not to attend, do we know who we supporting?
No. You just know to go down the meat aisle and get to go to Tyson.
Right.
You know who you think has a good brand because you haven't even tried the other brands.
That's true. You know what's very interesting though? I say this. When you talk about politics, right, and every single bag that we get, every time we purchase, we buy into a system, if you will. We buy into a system that's already been kind of like shadowed over our heads and normalized to us and put in front of us to be the right thing, right? Actually, let's take a step back before we do politics, right?
Bam, back up.
Yeah, back all the way up, back that ass up. So look, let's talk about. Before we talk about politics and packaging, before we talk about politics in the grocery stores, let's talk about this goddamn food triangle. You remember that?
Yeah.
Can I tell you that it turned out to be that the food triangle was a lie?
Oh, like bread, eggs, all that. Oh, okay. I ain't know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do now.
So I think I said it before in a different episode or a past
How?
episode. So look,
if
I'm
I can
telling you,
remember keto and that triangle looks really familiar.
I wish we could like pull a triangle up and put it right here and I point to the shit that was
Like,
benefiting.
damn.
But I believe dairy is one of them things, right?
Dairy.
Dairy, right? Dairy is the space in the triangle. Shit not good for you. If this mic wasn't on the stand, I'd drop this shit. Shit not good for you. What else is on there? What else is on the food triangle?
Cheese, bread,
That's all.
eggs,
That's dairy. That's.
broccoli, carrots, chicken.
I'm not saying it's all
Steak,
bad. I'm saying they made us
lamb
prioritize things that weren't necessarily good for our health. Dairy is one
Grapes.
of the things that comes directly from a cow. Milk has all kinds of pus and everything in it when it's processed, and people
What do you
think it
mean
gets
pus?
fixed. I mean pus. So I'm gonna give you some real game. Let's take a step back, right? When you talk about what we eat, there are people in this world who own these things that they call slaughterhouses. You heard of slaughterhouses?
Yes.
All right, so slaughterhouses are owned by people in power, people who have the money to own them. Now, what slaughterhouses do, of course, is they house massive amounts of livestock and they harvest them on demand. And it also means like milking cows, right? That also means like getting eggs from chickens and all that stuff. Now, be clear that I'm gonna bring it down to a real small sense. If you got a chicken,
Okay.
one chicken,
Okay.
but you got 10 people in your household, you need that chicken to do what?
Feed all of us.
Right? Push them eggs out, right?
Oh,
So it's
okay,
kind of
yeah.
the same thing I think with all the livestock is that like what happens is they speed up the process and kind of force you to or force what they need to demand out of them. So when you think about cows and their milk, people don't really go through the right processes. One, to extract the cow's milk. 2, cow's milk is freaking cows. And 3, people are selling stuff that isn't really, or not really, isn't at all viable to your health, because that stuff has all types of, just, man, all disgusting stuff, man. So when you milk a cow, milk doesn't just come out. It's not just milk. There's a lot of stuff involved in that.
You don't think that stuff is clean? Like,
No, so
like-
what I'm saying is it's clean, but I think it's clean enough to the eye that we can't see.
yeah.
I'm very
That's
sure that if we look
everything.
for pus inside of milk today, we find it. I bet my last dollar on it. I'll even do you one different. You think about the meat you eat, right? You ever had like a tough kind of meat?
Yeah.
Meat that was like tense or like hard, like real chewy?
Like the salmon that you made at the thing.
I swear to God.
Oh my bad, but go ahead. I'm just saying, it was a little tough.
Hey yo.
But my bad.
First off, salmon was wild caught.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying.
Salmon was wild caught,
The
and I
tough.
grilled it.
The fact that it was
And it was
tough,
not
that
tough.
was the
And you
comparison.
ate half of it that day.
I was starving. God
Man, but
told
we
me
had
it was
6 other people that was supposed to eat
or
that day.
die.
That's crazy.
I
you
ate
ain't,
it.
you
I
ain't
wasn't-
half of my tough salmon. Right now I got a Stone Cold Steve Austin salmon now. That's interesting, yo. So look, if you ever had any like tough meat or like tense meat, if for clarity, I'm talking about like animal meat. I don't want nobody to wander off into the private tabs on their iPhones. I do want to be clear.
How you know about that?
Oh, I know about. Don't even look. Hey, look, we're gonna keep it about food in this. So look, I want to be very clear that something happens with animals, right? When an animal knows it's about to be slaughtered, what happens is they release. I forget the name of it, but they release something in their body that makes them.
Toxin.
It's some kind of toxin. But I don't know the specific name, but it makes their bones and their meat really tense up.
Dead
Um,
toxins.
Yeah, so and what happens is when they're slaughtered, right, you eat all of that stuff that's released inside of that muscles too. So that tough meat that's like, oh this steak a little chewy.
That's what that white stuff.
That's cause that big moo was scared. That's why the steak a little chewy.
So it was ready to get caught. It was walking right, and they got caught, and the nose was ready to so tend up like that.
I swear to goodness, y'all. First off, I don't know
And then
no
all them
cow.
toxins wet because it was about to die.
It's-
Then we eating the steak.
It wasn't hunted actually. It was held
No.
inside of like or housed, if you will. But no, but that's exactly how it happens. What happens is that animals know when they're about to die. You know what I mean? There's something they understand in that way at least. And if you watch something in front of you get, you know what I mean, get the moon knocked out of him, then what you know what I mean, not to make funny, not to make fun of the cows. Cows don't take no offense to it. And Chick-fil-A don't hold us. But you know what I mean, you watch a moon get knocked out of somebody, then what you think gonna happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The same thing will happen. So I said to say that.
Call me a moo, but
A what? Oh, she kills me.
a mover, Uber, cows.
Yeah, you might have to move off the show. I tell you that.
That
No,
wasn't funny.
but no. So slaughter. So what I say that to say is to bring that full circle. Man, there's a lot of stuff that's going on with our food way before it even gets to us, right? And to the naked eye, all looks well. To the naked eye, we'd be like, damn, that's some big chicken breasts. I'm
Right.
getting them for the cookout. We putting them, right? You know what I mean? Damn, that grill, you know what I mean? That steak thick. Let's
So
do
the
it.
big
You know
one
what I
on
mean?
steroids.
You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of stuff that's happening in our foods way before it gets to us. And that's out of one, making enough money, right? Increasing the pounds of the food, making it look bigger, making it look healthier. There's even this thing that folks do in grocery stores. I watched this in a documentary, and excuse me, I can't reference it, but there's this thing that folks do in grocery stores with fish. Or sometimes any meat. Have you ever seen in the grocery stores the like pre-seasoned meats?
Yeah.
So you'll see like the salmon with all of the sauce and all
that.
that.
One in the bag you curl like that, put in the oven.
Right, it's already on the plate and things like that, sealed and ready to go. What happens is a lot of that sometimes is like what's called like expired fish, and what they do is to cover up how fish would naturally look, how you know what I mean when it's expired or going bad. They put all these seasonings on and this sauces on and they put it back on the shelf. It's true. I'm not kidding.
What?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say it one more time because I'm not making this up.
So the chicken
and
is-
I'll find a documentary because I don't want to sit here and give y'all a fact that
The
you know
fish
what I
is
mean?
the chicken.
No, I'm saying anything that's pre-seasoned, like you see, like they got the plank jerk salmon all wrapped up in front of the seafood section. They got the seasoned chicken and everything. A lot of that stuff sometimes, for the sake of continuously trying to stretch money and you know what I mean, make money off of it. A lot of that stuff is like expired foods or meats that are close to going bad, aren't really good anymore, but re-seasoned so you can't tell from the details of the eye.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
okay, I get what you're saying.
So yeah, so a lot of that to say is that like our food is handled poorly, number one. But when you talk about politics, right? You buy into what? You buy into what? Like what are you really buying in grocery stores? Now.
Now I would say people are more aware, so they're more, they pay attention to more. But then the prices are going up. 'Cause
Oh,
now that
yeah.
they know we're eating it, but you get what you're accustomed to, or you get what you can afford, and 9 times out of 10, that's what.
That's the chickens, that's the livers, that's the pork
Hot
chops,
dogs and
that's-
beans,
Ooh, the hot dogs and the beans, baby.
fried potatoes, they cheap. You
Fried
get a bacon $3 for 28 cents.
potatoes. I'm sorry.
Oh, my
That
bad.
was, no, I shouldn't have. Go ahead. You're right. What you were saying about the bag and 99-cent bag.
Yeah.
Okay. So as she was mentioning 99-cent bag of potatoes, whatever.
No, $3.69 for a bag of potatoes.
Same thing.
But what I used to like those things that was grown out of potatoes.
You know
I
what
did
those
never
things
want to
are?
touch them. I
Hold
was
on, hold on.
like, Mom, it's dirty.
Teach
I
a moment. Teach a moment.
I
Teach a
don't
moment.
want it.
Teach a moment.
I said, I ain't eating
If
it.
you right now listen to this podcast and you don't like those things that grow out of the potato, this is a big teaching moment for you.
Please, because to this day, I will throw the whole bag away.
Take a guess at what those things are.
Baby worms. I don't know, like an onion or something. I don't know. It's just like, ew. What is that? Don't touch it.
They seeds.
What?
They seeds.
For who?
For potatoes. You plant one of them and then potato grow.
Oh my God! All this time I've
It's
been
just,
throwing
so think about it
I
how
could have
like,
had the whole potato farm
yeah, like seriously.
right over there of my
Potatoes
yard.
grow.
I ain't have
Potatoes
a yard, but under the clothesline.
Okay, that works too. That works too. You know what I mean? You could, you know what I mean?
Mom, look, we got potatoes.
But no. So those things, those sprouts that are growing on top of the potatoes are seeds. You can replant those, and you'll get you a whole, you know what I mean, some potato action going.
Are you serious?
Out back with your clothesline. Well, you know what I mean. They call them potato eyes, but they're not specifically seeds, but they're called eyes of the potato. So that you can replant and get your potatoes and your French fries and your hash browns.
No, seriously. So I would just like cut it off.
Yep.
Dig a little dirt hole.
Yeah.
Put
Nope. Oh, nope. Rewind it back. You would cut it off.
cut it off.
You would dry it out, right?
Dry it out.
Yeah.
It's already dry.
It's not always dried out, no. But so potatoes have a lot of moisture in them.
All right. So what I gotta do?
So you would cut it off.
Mhm.
You would dry it out. You would then you want to put it in the soil, and then you know what I mean. From there you grow it.
Can I just use the regular dirt? Come on, let us know, cause I'm gonna try to do
I
it.
mean, well, be careful because sometimes you can use the regular dirt, but you want to be careful with your soil. So people don't know. Sometimes soil contains a lot of different toxins depending on where you live at. Especially in our neighborhoods, our soil ain't shit most of the times. So you got metals and toxins and all this stuff inside the soil, which is why we can't grow.
We
inside
learning.
our soil.
So,
Oh yeah, we
listen,
can.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this,
Oh,
and I'm
let
gonna
me
keep
see.
y'all posted.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm gonna go buy the potatoes, and I'm gonna grow a potato in my yard. Go buy soil though.
Yeah, I would. So I would buy soil, and if you are not somebody who wants to buy soil, you feel like you got you a big nice backyard where you want to get it popping out the ground. You can get you a what's called a soil test, which will let you know like what's going on with your soil, what's in it, and what needs to happen to it for you to get it to the position.
Can these be grown all year?
Potatoes? No. I don't think I think it's only be grown in the summertime. Mostly in
Okay.
the summertime, mainly. In the
All right,
summertime.
so I can't do it, but I'm gonna do it in the summertime.
Yeah, I say you try it out though. I actually want to be there to watch you do it too.
I'm gonna
Watch
give
you do
y'all
it.
like step by step. Like y'all really gonna take this journey with me from like digging a little hole somewhere where the cats ain't been in my yard. It's like no, y'all can't stop.
I tell you one thing, we ain't eating none of them damn potatoes. I mean that. I don't care if you roast them, fry them, whatever you want to do.
You know I'm fibbing.
Yeah, but I mean no, it's cool. If you want to bury a cat in the backyard, no problem. That's fine. But no. Reality is. So we've been talking about politics in the packages, and we talk about politics inside the grocery stores. Just being clear, man, that we work hard and go give our money to folks who are not handling our food well, who go give out money to folks who are overpricing us for food that's not even close to worth it, food that we don't even want, we never asked for, and that is not beneficial to us at most times. And we've been told that we're supposed to have these foods because milk gives you strong bones, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just interesting, right? You think about what you buy into when you put your money where your mouth is. And I think we have to be really careful about how we move and how we shop. I know when I first got home from school and I was on my own as an adult, the grocery store I was going to is one, which was in my neighborhood in East Baltimore. It was called Food Depot at the time. I think it's still called Food Depot. However, when I used to go to Food Depot, man, I used to be, I don't know, I wasn't a Food Depot listener, but it used to be real like all the like the produce would be very limp. Right, for lack of better words, it would be very limp. You got
Scattered,
stuff, scattered. You got stuff expired. You got stuff Browning, right? So it was just like, but growing up, it's like, dang. Like I used to think it just like you can't get food from the farm to the grocery store without it going bad that fast, right? But it's truthfully about like the foods we've been handed down to us and the foods that's been cleared. Now, thankful for my fiance, but she got us shopping at like Sprouts, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, markets like that are known for even more fresh food or better produce, more better handled produce. But even still, I want to be clear that like a lot of those big grocery stores that we feel like we're safe at got their own politics behind them.
Yep.
Got their own politics
That
behind
was what I was about to say.
It's scary because it's like you can't really believe that you're buying or putting your money somewhere you want to put it at or somewhere you feel like is consciously just responsible to put it at, unless you're a part of it, unless you know what's going on.
Nobody's actually doing a background check to see,
Exactly.
where did this come from? What? No, you're just going there because a lot of
That's real.
certain people don't shop there.
Exactly,
You
right.
don't necessarily know like where it came from.
And if I could even go a step further, I'll be honest and I'm gonna be real. Who the hell wants to have to do a background check on that grocery store before they go and spend that money? Like that sucks. That's like doing a background check on some Jordans before you buy it. You gotta check his stats and make sure he's valid. Like, which I don't understand it. That don't make sense to me. So to even have to live in that way,
Right.
it goes a lot deeper than just the food, right? It goes a lot deeper than just what we put our money at, but it goes a lot deeper than what we actually buying into. It goes a lot deeper into all the high prices inside of the grocery stores. And then we also get introduced to this idea of and I'm gonna drop a big word here, so be ready for it. We just get an idea, and this is and I would say this is inside of white people's stores, or what we would consider as white people's stores, and the prices have changed. I would also, oh my God, let me tell y'all now. I might be seeing all these different kinds of peppers now, but peppers ain't $3-4 no more. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
They not.
I'm gonna tell you, because Food Depot, I had the peppers, the red peppers and the green peppers. Now I'm seeing orange. I seen the yellow one before.
Yep.
I seen some red and some green still. I even seen a purple one at one time, and I don't know if that was a Ravens thing, but I don't know how it went down. But to be clear though, this word I'm talking about, man, has like shifted folks and made folks feel like they're moving into a healthy direction. But the word is organic. The word is organic, right? So now we in the mode where when we see organic, we flip out. It's almost like we don't have to think no more. And that bothers me too, because like you said, we're not doing background checks on nobody that we shopping at, none of the Whole Foods, none of the Trader Joe's, any of those.
It's the same. Walmart has organic food.
Yeah,
so
same
what's the
thing.
difference between Walmart and Sprouts or Harris Teeter or whatever? What's the difference for those markets? They have the same brand of food.
Right. It's marketing, yo. It's marketing. One, I think people, so I'm gonna swing this around. You think about standardization of whiteness, right? You think about how where white folks go at, or where white folks were shopping, is the safer or the healthier place, right? That's all. At least that's how it's been perceived since I was growing up. Because I had originally, as a kid, I had what we call Stop Shop and Save. I don't know if y'all know nothing about the Stop Shop. Nothing about the Stop Shop. So be clear. So growing up as a kid, I had what we call Stop Shop and Save, right? And Stop Shop and Save is a grocery store that I would consider not of the best quality, if you will. But think about it in this way. So the same potatoes I would buy at Stop Shop and Save, I have also bought them at my Whole Foods, right? So you think it's interesting because when we go to a Whole Foods, we expect things to be hiked up in price, right? And we expect it to cost more than what we pay for at our regular stores. However, when you look at our Stop Shop and Saves and our Save-A-Lots, or whatever you want to call it, any stores that are primary inside of black communities, the same stuff that we buy in Whole Foods is costing the same stuff that it costs in our stores in our neighborhoods. And that's mind blowing to me because it's interesting, because if it was adjusted to the neighborhood, or if it was of low quality, or if it was meant to be appealed to us in that way, then the prices wouldn't look how they look. And the produce wouldn't look how it looked for the price they got it for. So that's one of the mind-boggling things. And the reality of it is that comes off of understanding what goes down in the black community when folks get like food stamps, right? Understanding that folks got it. Understanding that they're not spending their money. Understanding they can price it at what they want and it not be too much today because folks can afford it. And folks love to buy, for some reason, the higher price produce. For some reason. I don't know what that's about. But I think it's major, right? If we're talking about politics we got to be realistic that we don't know our grocery stores like we say we do. We don't understand even that we're shopping the way we say we do. We don't even understand that we're moving into health the way we do. We're moving into the health that they told us was health, right? We're moving into what they considered as health. We don't know what healthy means for us in that way. So I think it's one of the major things that we can lift up.
Yeah, you said everything. Y'all ain't think you stopped talking?
What you think about food being poison, but also being medicine?
It ain't. I don't.
Let's start with poison. What you think people mean when they say food is poison?
The toxins. You talk about how you die like that, and all the toxins and stuff going there.
That's the cat same thing you did earlier. All right, forget it. Go ahead. You did the same thing earlier with the cow.
But it's like it's not. You don't know what's being put in, so you don't know the table it's been cleaned on. You don't know how it's being packaged, and you don't even know how it's being handled. So it's so many toxic. Like it's never anything is not. It's processed, but it's not clean.
Right. No, that's fast.
You can rinse it off and soak it in your lemon water, rub it with some salt. Right. It's still dirty.
Right. No, yeah, I think, salmonellas everywhere. And, no, it's been handled terribly. People touching it with their hands.
It goes under the plastic. Like, where did the plastic come from?
Yeah. Dry, pick back up, you know what I mean? Put it back on the tray real quick.
Machine.
Hey, all that stuff, man. So, machine ain't been clean. Anybody going down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's a whole lot.
When I think of food as poison, man, I always think of one, capitalism, right? Capitalism in the sense that folks produce as much food as they can to be able to get as much money out of us, or us being consumers, if you will, but producers in these grocery stores are pushing out as much food as they can. And I think, like we talked about earlier, to do that, right, to meet that demand, you got to stress whatever livestock, or you got to stress whatever produce that you're putting out there. So that's why you start to get your fake avocados, and that's why you start to get your fake broccolis, and all these different things that just of no nutritional value at that point,
right?
Put in our bodies. So at this point, what we think we eating healthy, right? It starts to be freaking counterproductive. It starts to be counterproductive. And I would even go as far as to say that, like, man, our food system is trash, yo. And I don't know if they're gonna come down and get me for it, but I don't care if they come down and get me for it too. Y'all got my back, right?
Who gonna come get you?
The food system itself. But no, real stuff. Our food system in this country is trash, yo. It's absolute trash. And I say that because you got folks that, like Ashley was just saying a minute ago, that are handling out food terribly, right? And also you have this separation of what it means to have good food in one neighborhood and to have like just some food in another neighborhood, right? So in the black neighborhood, you got something to eat, but it's not the best thing, right?
Like all the easy stuff's accessible, like all the unhealthy shit is accessible.
They pushing Hungry Man and all these other TV dinners, right?
20 minutes out to get something healthy, or you go to the market, you still don't even know what to get, and it's there.
So I got a question for you, and I ask this question to a lot of different people when we host folks and folks come to the farm and we talk game with them. If you want to kill an army without fighting, how do you do that?
Starve them. You
can starve them. But I'm saying an army that you're against, an army not that you're providing food for. But how do you kill a group of people without slaughtering them?
I don't know. Feed them.
Feed them what though?
Fake games. I don't know.
Fake
poison.
Yeah, you poison that food. You poison that food, right?
That was
so there's an attack.
I
don't know where you was at, but you here now, right?
I'm here.
No, but if you think about an attack on the black community, what's that? Makes sense. They putting what kind of foods in our neighborhood? Poison. Do they want us here? Like, I mean, tell me. I could be tripping, though. I mean,
what's in the lunch meat? Like the ones that's in the packs?
Look, I don't know.
That white stuff don't be on there.
Look, see, I'm off of it. I'm free from. At least I ain't messing with that stuff.
So now let me tell you what the difference is. So now normally I would go buy those little packs, but I've been stopped buying them. Now I buy lunch meat. So this goes perfect because I think it's better.
Yeah.
I think I don't choose to buy the little packs anymore because now I'm gonna get the lunch meat just cut. Like, what's the difference?
I think, man, so it's a lot of stuff that can go into it. And I think that's a whole other rabbit hole if you go down and you think about like what's actually inside the foods. It's already bad enough that we know it's not nothing great, but to think about what's in it and figure out what you know what I mean, what's actually in there and what it does to us is going to shape up and change a lot of the conversations we have. But I think it should be clear that food also can be medicine, right? Food also, we talked about even the guy in the neighborhood who drops the weight. Food can be a thing that heals you as well, but we haven't been taught in that way, and it hasn't been glorified in that way to us in our communities at least. So that goes back to soul food. But
Glorify the greens.
yeah, the glorified grains with the orange can.
Oh my God.
So truthfully, man, it's feeling like if you cool with it, it's feeling like there's gonna be a kind of part 2 to this kind of thing.
Yeah,
You
it
digging
is.
it? I'm digging
We
it.
definitely, because I gotta glorify I forgot about Glory Green.
Yeah, that glory. Now, is it glorified grains or is it glory?
No, I was singing a song, but it is glorify the greens. No, we ain't gonna talk about glorify because they in the can. They already
Yeah,
we're gonna
yeah.
glorify the fresh greens that we grow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Glorify the
Absolutely.
greens.
I think it just makes sense to really start lifting up the right ways. But like you said, to circle everything back around,
We
all the
gotta
stuff we
have
talked
part
about
two.
today, we got to have about 2 because I feel like there's so much more to say. But to bring things full circle, man, there's a lot of parts of the food system that we deal with that's not to the naked eye. That we are familiar with and we just don't understand. There's politics in the game that we understand, but also what you do need to understand is that you're a contributor in this food system and you are a consumer inside of this food system. And if you're going to be that, you need to be that in a smart way and not in a way that allows you to be a victim of any kind of food,
Oh, my bad.
food attack, let's call it that. But yeah, so yeah, man, I this was good. I'm looking forward to part 2 and I really, I'm excited. I'm excited. What you want to say anything before we close out of this joint?
Eat or get ate.
I don't know why she on her get rich or die trying stuff. It's killing me. Yeah. So ain't nobody. Not mine. She's message to the world is eat or get ate. And my message is to you are what you eat. Clap your hands, stomp your feet,
Stop.
and gefilte fish. Anything else you want?
Stop.
BYI sounds.
No,
What? No.
don't say that. That's not how you say you gotta do. Be wise sounds.
Right. I'm fine. So we got ad libs too.
Alright.
But yeah, but no, truthfully, if I could wrap everything up, y'all, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Truth is that it was gefilte fish that was the charades. Truth also is Ashley was lying
Starfish.
about the salmon. The salmon was actually really good. It was on the grill, and she ate 3/4 of it. I said half of it earlier, but I lied. But also, there's definitely gonna be a part 2 to this. That's our third truth.
For real.
We appreciate y'all for coming. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Again, we the Black Gear Podcast, Land, Food, and Liberation. You want to take us out of here?
Huh?
Tell us who we are.
Oh, yo,